Welcome to our Advisor Ambassador program. Today, we have Karina Hatfield with us, and Karina is the current president of NAFA Pennsylvania and the reigning 2020 NAFA YAT Leader of the Year, which is our Young Advisors team. And Karina is also co-chair of our NAFA YAT committee as well. And today she's going to talk to you a little bit about centers of influence. And without further ado, I will turn it over to Karina for her presentation. So Karina, over to you.
Thank you, Emily. And welcome everyone. Thank you. I'm gonna share my screen. Get this presenting. So today we're gonna talk about centers of influence, what they are, how to create them, and how to use them to grow your business. So a lot of people who are starting out, companies will say, get your 200 list, which are 200 families and friends that you can reach out to, or you might have some marketing dollars that you can buy leads with, which are perfectly good strangers who have been shopping on the internet or making calls to someone. I enjoy, so a little bit about me. I'm a third generation agent. I started in the business in 2005. And I have grown, and we have always grown our family business organically. So at one point I have purchased leads, working with my dad and my grandfather. My 200 list was kind of just my friends because my family were already here. So I had to work on other things. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about centers of influence because they are an amazing way to grow your business and also help your current clients, and ways to re-engage clients as you go through and work with them, finding reasons to re-engage other than just selling them something. So centers of influence, what are they? They are people, professionals in your community, or could be across the country, who refer you business or you refer business, and they're there to help you, and you are there to help them grow. And so typically this is done without a lot of cost. So that's a center of influence. Oh, I haven't done a Zoom meeting in a while, so which was good. All right, there we go. Okay, so 6 degrees of separation. I like to throw in there the 6 degrees of separation. Everyone or most people have heard about this. Usually it leads back to Kevin Bacon. Everyone on this call now is within 2 degrees of Kevin Bacon. I met him in person. I have a picture. I was trying to find it. And I will at some point and post that with this presentation. But I used to work at a hotel, and Kevin Bacon, the Bacon Brothers band, came and stayed, and I have a picture with him. So what that means is, and why I share that and have a discussion about the 6 degrees of separation, is that you know people who know people who know people who you want to know, who want to, you might want to work with. And so that's where, the 6 degrees of separation comes into play. And you always know people that you can refer, and people know people who they can refer to you. And that's where these centers of influences get created. So a center of influence, who is a center of influence? This all depends, and your centers of influence can be completely different than the agent or advisor that works right next to you. So really, your centers of influence are prepared and created and cultivated. Those relationships are cultivated based on what clients you're looking to attract. And so I work more in the PNC space. I'm also life health licensed, have my variable license, but so my clients are, and I'll use my example. So my clients are small business owners, a lot of small business owners, low to middle income. I like to work with some clients who have a high income, but typically my clients are middle income clients. Home, auto, might have a vacation home or some toys. So they're the clients that I look for and I attract. A lot of my clients are car enthusiasts. My husband races cars, so that's a natural market for me. So we're car enthusiasts. We have snowmobiles and four-wheelers, and we do that type of stuff. I run races and I travel. So, and I have 2 kids, they're involved in things. So, my clients and who I attract are people like me. And in 2 weeks, Derek's going to work more on that niche marketing type of thing. So I don't want to share that, but working with your center of influence and finding out who your centers of influences are. So mine are completely different than even my sister who works in our office or my father who worked in our office. So because the clients I attract are completely different than who they attract. So the people I want to work with and the centers of influences I want to create are more people who are mortgage brokers, who are looking to buy houses, who are people who have cars or enjoy cars. So I work with a lot of body shop owners or restoration companies. So there are types of things that I'm looking for. So when you're looking for or trying to think of who is a center of influence, it's somebody that's going to talk to the same people or clients that you're looking to attract. So what makes a good center of influence? You want them to be like-minded with you. You want them to be involved and engaged with your clients or with you. And so you want to make sure that you have a good relationship with them, both on a personal and professional level, because you want them to be able to easily share your name and your information. So what I do, and we'll talk about this a little bit, what I like to do is initially when I'm looking for centers of influence or looking to create new centers of influence, I'm going to ask that person, we'll talk about how to find them, but I'm going to ask that person out for coffee or lunch, for dinner or drink, just depending on who it is, or in what capacity they work in. And I will say to them, I'm looking for a few people to refer business to. So if it's an estate attorney, I would say to them, hey, do you want to have coffee or lunch? I am looking for a few estate attorneys to refer my clients to do their wills or planning their estates. And I would say I'm just getting to know a couple people to see who would work, because all my clients are different. And I want to be able to have a couple names or, have a couple things. So I don't ever look at my centers of influence as I want one to refer and I want that person to refer solely me. I don't set that expectation. I think it's a little over the top of anyone to set an expectation that those referrals go one, it's just one. So I like to have a group, because I know and get to know my clients just like and get to know your friends or family. And these professionals are as well. And so they're going to know, hey, you know what, this person's better to work with Karina on this, or hey, this person's better to work with Derek, who you meet in a couple weeks on this. So you want them to know and be comfortable sharing that and building that relationship. So for me, a good center of influence is someone who is like-minded with me. I'm very involved in different things in my community. I enjoy if I'm working with someone who's that way as well and engaged. So how do you find a center of influence? So if you're just starting out in the business and you're thinking, oh my goodness, I have no clue. I know I need to make sales. I know I don't want to buy leads. But how am I finding someone who's going to refer me business? So you want to look in your contact spheres. So you want to look through your phone list, honestly, going through your phone and thinking, oh, what does each of these people do? What do each of my friends do? And are they working with are they in contact with somebody I want to work with? Do they refer people or see people? And you might not even think about it that way when you think, oh, so-and-so's Jim's my friend. But then you think, oh my goodness, Jim's a contractor. Jim's in people's homes all the time. He could absolutely refer me for home insurance when he sees X, Y, or Z. So you want to look in your contact sphere. So you want to look through your contacts in that manner. The Chamber of Commerce is a great thing. Our local Chamber of Commerce sends a guide They have a member profile that we can go in and look through, and you can just go through that Chamber of Commerce list and introduce yourself, put yourself out there, and ask if you can get together to get to know their business, get to know what's going on. So your Chamber of Commerce is a great way to find some centers of influence in your community. Other networking groups, obviously, so you're like your BNIs and things like that that you have. I'm in a networking group also through the chamber, but it's a women's networking group, and we meet every other Tuesday virtually. So a lot of the ladies in that group outside of that every other Tuesday will also try and get to know each other a little bit better. So we encourage getting together outside of just those meetings. So networking groups, even if it is a BNI or some referral group in that manner, trying to meet with those people outside of those regular meetings is a great way to get to know those people a little bit better. Obviously, other professional associations, NAFA is a great way to build your centers of influence. There are so many people here who do all different types of insurance and advising that I do not, that you do not. So it's a great way to get to know someone else, and that's always a safe referral, in my opinion. Working with someone, I mean, we don't have clients who or we don't have in our office anyone specifically that does the Medicare, so I found someone who does that locally. I also have found a couple people because I write in other states, so through NAFA I've met some other people that I can advise them to if I have clients in my other states that ask me for that. The same, I don't do disability insurance or other things. So, I find people through your professional association, and you always get that back too. And then country clubs or other member organizations. So, hunting and fishing clubs, I've worked with some snowmobile associations, four-wheeler associations, car, as I explained, associations. Your country club has networking events. If you're a member, take advantage of that. A golf club. If anybody else has any other suggestions they want to put in the chat, please do on that. But there's, some ideas on how you can find different people to work on the centers of influence for you. Some examples. So I've talked about a couple, but some examples here. So realtors, mortgage brokers, for me, they're both working not only in the homeowner space, but also in life insurance. Contractors, car salesmen, mechanics, clubs or organizations, as I shared, and estate attorneys are good. Your CPAs, business coaches, any kind of payroll contacts, other advisors or agents or third-party administrators are all some examples of centers of influence that I have or have used, or some of my friends and colleagues have or use, and their ideas. So if you have anything else that you think would be good, or any ideas there, once you work on if you don't have that niche market or your ideal client, I would say that's number one, kind of setting down and figuring out what that ideal client is, and then see where they fit in, and where these other professionals fit in. So how do you create the relationship? So it's not something, you don't have a relationship with, we'll use an estate attorney just because that's the top one for me. So I have no relationship with an estate attorney. I have no relationship with any attorney at all. And but I've decided that I want someone who is looking to set up an estate. I want that's what I want. That's my ideal client. People who care about setting up their estates. So I find some attorneys. I go to my Chamber of Commerce. I find some estate attorneys, and I have this list of a couple names and phone numbers. So what do you do next? You don't want to just call them and say, "Hey, hi, I'm Karina from Pottstown. Can you refer me business? I want your clients that come in. Can you refer them?" It's like, what are they gonna say to you? Like, I don't know you, or how do you even call me? How do we even get together? what do you say to them? So with some of them, typically, I find my estate attorneys, I've either received a referral to them or found them through our chamber website. So even starting out, my first couple years in the business, I would say, hey, I joined the chamber. I recently joined the chamber. I'm a member of the chamber. We just got on the new membership list, or I was scrolling through the membership list, and I saw your name come across as a state attorney. I have clients who, obviously own homes. I have clients that I'm working with life insurance. I'm looking for someone or a few people that I can refer to an estate attorney. And I was wondering if I could get to know your business and you a little bit better to see if I feel like you'd be a good fit for my referrals. And in getting to know someone in that way, where you're not asking them initially something from them, you're asking to give them business. Usually people are open to that. They want to talk about themselves. They want to talk about their business. They're happy to share their success. And so really, your initial interaction is getting an appointment to have coffee or lunch or something, and just spending maybe a half hour or so getting to know their business, what their clients are like, what they are like, what they enjoy doing, what their space is. And from there, you can find out, are their ideal clients the same as my ideal clients? Do we have other things in common? Is this a good match? Do I think we could refer both ways? And then you'll start creating that relationship. And like I said, you might want to interview 4 or 5 different estate attorneys, or each of those professions that you find, and pick 2 or 3 that work for you. And I'll say, as you get to know your clients and as you build your business, you're going to get to know, oh, so and so, they'd be good with, Jim, John, Steve, or they would be good with somebody else. And you're going to get to know your clients, and you're going to get to know, those professionals, so that way you can cultivate that relationship. So get to know how you can learn to refer them business, and then in turn they will refer you business as well. And it's one of those things, like you can say, I'm looking for, as you build that relationship, I'm looking to not only send clients to you, I'm also looking for clients in return. And there's nothing wrong with asking for that and setting those expectations. I will say, after you've created them, sorry, I just wanted to make sure I didn't skip a slide or talk ahead. After you've created that relationship, big things, make sure you send thank yous. Make sure you write, a handwritten card goes a long way. I feel, I send my referrals and my centers of influence, and they send someone over, I send them a nice little card that says, thank you, I met with, so-and-so today. It was so great to meet them. They speak highly of you. Thank you so much for the referral. And so that is one way, you just keep cultivating that relationship, and make sure, I will say, make sure that you continuously, you don't want to be out of sight, out of mind. So if you haven't seen them for a couple months, send them a card. Hey, thought of you, this article came out and I thought of you. Or hey, do you want to catch up and have coffee? Put it in your calendar to check up with these people if you're not good with it. One of our centers of influence, many years ago when I first started, was renters insurance, like a management company, the people that work the front desk of a rental property. And we had quite a few of these apartment units, and the management companies were a good center of influence referral business for me. And because they all required renters insurance, and that was a space that I was in, my market then were a lot of people like me who in their 20s were starting to get their first apartments or townhouses, things like that. So it was natural for me to work in that market. And so, I did a great job initially, went out, visited them, gave them things for giveaways, gave them like little bags, jar openers. That's always a good thing to have some stuff that they can hand out. Oh, hey, call Karina. Here's her jar opener. Here's her calendar. Here's her sports schedule. We always stop by. And so I put it in my calendar for every few months to stop by those places again, make sure I handed out my business cards. They had business cards still, make sure they had bags still, make sure they had little giveaways or whatever. If I had a new sports schedule up, we do baseball and football. So make sure when those new schedules came out that I dropped them off. And we were doing a great job and continuing that and getting good amount of referrals. And then what happened? I stopped stopping by those apartment complexes. Who knows why? I got busy involved in something else. So make sure you and then a couple of months later, I'm like, wow, I'm not getting the referrals I was getting before. I've lost that center of influence. And so I made some calls and reached out again. And we've cultivated those relationships again. So I will say it's not like a once and done. You need to be involved and engaged. So put it on your calendar to stop by, and don't push those appointments off because they're not client appointments. So you think, oh yeah, I'll do that another day. Put it in your calendar, keep it in there, and make sure you continue those relationships, be it every 6 months or every quarter. If someone's giving you and referring you a lot, and as you create those relationships, it might be every month that you're getting together and going through things and having a discussion about your business. And make sure if things come up, if there are things that are new or new products, that you're reaching out to those centers as well and saying, hey, I just want to let you know, we started selling this, or we recently now write in New York. So it's something that I'm reaching out to my centers of influence and saying, hey, just want to let you know I write in New York now. So now, especially in the home market, people are buying second homes or moving, and I'm going, hey, I don't just write in Pennsylvania, I write in New York as well. So just keep that in mind if you have someone you're referring up to New York. So, it's just a easy peace of mind check-in if there's something new that's come up. So I'll say that, how to create those relationships and keep them going. So my last thing is to set a goal and do it. So I always, we have these great conversations, or I'll share some information, and we get to the end and it's like, okay, I have these great ideas, and now I turn this computer off and that's the end. So I'm going to challenge, what are your sales goals? So, how can creating centers of influence help those sales goals, getting those referrals in? What are your centers of influence goals? Make a goal, specific goal for centers of influence. So if we're in September, if it's by the end of the year, I want to have 2 centers of influence. I want to start that relationship, 2 centers of influence. Start that now. So and break it down. You can't just say I want 2 centers of influence. How are you getting them? Where are you going for them? I'm going to join my Chamber of Commerce if I haven't, or I'm going to join NAFA if I haven't, and I'm going to work on where I'm going to get these referrals and where I'm going to refer. So look at your clients and say, my clients need what that I don't know that they have. I need a referral for them. And in turn, you're going to get a referral back. So work on those, but set those centers of influence goals. That's a sales goal too, because creating those centers of influence and getting that relationship going is going to get your sales goals hit. So make sure you're creating a goal for your centers of influence, and then break that down. How am I going to do it? Am I going to make calls today, tomorrow to a couple of state attorneys and get appointments for next week and the week after for coffee so I can start this relationship? Yes, get it done. So, and then share them with someone. I am here. I will check up on you. I will be your accountability partner if you need it. So let me share my information. So my name, my email, and our work phone if you need me. So it's chatfield@wignerinsurance.com. But I will be your accountability partner. If you don't have them, please reach out to me. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, all the things. And I'm happy to share this information with you. I hope this has helped you or will be helping you in some way, and please keep me in the loop. Let me know how you're creating and working on your centers of influence. If you need one-on-one help or would like to, you're just starting out in the business and you're thinking to yourself, I don't even know who my ideal client is. I just need a client. Please reach out to me. I'll help you figure that out. I'm here to help in any way possible, and just want to see all of you succeed. So thank you. Emily, I'm going to turn it back to you. I'm going to stop sharing.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Karina. And, and I think one thing that's so true about this business is that those centers of influence are where all of your leads and your referrals, and building that network is just so critical to success in this industry. And those were great examples, really easy things that people can start implementing right away. Karina is an expert at this, if I may say so myself, and knows how to do that. So if you do have questions and you do have, you want to know where to start, feel free to reach out to her. She gave you your contact information. Just really great, helpful information. It's just, I don't think sometimes people think about all of the communities and the organizations and all the relationships that you already have that you just aren't thinking of with that different hat on. And that's exactly, the way to grow your business. So
I had a conversation last night with my girlfriend across the state, and I've said, who are your centers of influence? Because her business is completely different than mine. And I said, who are your centers of influence? And she's like, go through your phone. And I went through it and I was like, oh my goodness. Like, either I have my school age children, so like I have their moms, and I'm like, moms and dads, and I'm like, what do they do? And then your social media stalking, right? And finding out what they do, and figuring out how we can refer each other business, because I completely forgot. I mean, I have like 5 friends, like my kids and their kids are friends, and they're all realtors, and we do not refer business to each other at all. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to connect with them on a professional level as well. And I did that actually with one this week, and it easy. So you just have to change your mindset and look through those contacts.
Yep, absolutely. I think that was just so brilliant the way that you said that. It's just like, yeah, they're right, literally right in front of
Right
you.
there.
Right there. Yep, exactly. Well, thank you, Karina. Again, fantastic insights. Looking forward to seeing everybody in a couple of weeks with Derek Sheets, who's going to kind of be talking about niche markets. So it dovetails really nicely into what Karina just talked about. And so how you can take, those centers of influence and create those niche markets throughout there. So
Great. Thank you.
thank you.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.